Jey Uso fans need to calm down. There's a lot of outrage. There's a lot of talk, and you guys calm down. It's gonna be okay. And in this video, I'm gonna tell you exactly what they're freaking out about and why it's not a big deal. In fact, it's gonna be okay. Look, Jey Uso, he is coming off of War Games. Him, Roman Reigns, CM Punk, Jimmy Uso, they and Sami Zayn, they aligned. They came together. They reunited as one, despite all of the history, all the bad blood, and they defeated Solo Sikoa, Jacob Fatu, the Tongas, and Bronson Reed. Now, coming out of that match, there were some casualties. Bronson Reed, he's got an ankle injury. Jimmy Uso, he's got a broken toe, both of which were injured in War Games when they jumped off of the top of the cage. Now, Jey Uso, he was part of the opening segment of Monday Night Raw. Of course, CM Punk coming out there, cutting an epic promo, having an epic exchange with Seth Rollins. Clearly, they're setting up a feud with them. But coming out of War Games, coming out of Survivor Series, there was a big question. What would be next for Jey Uso? Would he stay aligned with Roman Reigns? Would he go back to being a lone wolf on Monday Night Raw as his singles career continues to grow, prosper, and thrive? What would happen? Well, we saw what we saw on Monday Night Raw. Of course, it was Jey Uso who was part of the entourage, if you will. Sami Zayn, Adam Pearce, a bunch of security and referees and agents breaking up the brawl between Seth Rollins and CM Punk. Now, later in the night, they did what they always do, which is a whodunit mystery attacker. Now, typically when they do this, it's for two reasons. One of which it's due to write someone off of television due to an injury or a mystery attacker, or to set up a future storyline, I should say. And that leads us to today's video because fans, when they saw that angle, they're like, oh no, he wasn't attacked on camera. It's a whodunit situation. Oh no, the sky is falling. He's injured. He's going to be out for a while. And it's like, no. Two indications that is not the case. Number one, when they write someone off of television in an attack angle where you don't see who attacks them, they're completely laid out. Jey Uso was not that, right? Number two, at the end of the show when Sami Zayn was battling Seth Rollins in the main event, it was Drew McIntyre who made a return and targeted Sami Zayn. So not only Sami Zayn, who thought Seth Rollins had attacked Jey Uso, right? So he is not injured. Jey Uso fans can calm down. The sky is not falling. Your boy is not going to be out for months. He's fine. He's A-okay. Now, could he be off of NetSuite's television? Sure. Could he be off television for a while? Absolutely. Could he be back next week on Monday Night Raw? Yes. We don't know how long he'll be off of television. He's not injured, though. That's the great news. That's the positive news. That's the news that you underline. You circle. You get it clear in your head. It's going to be okay. We're not dealing with the Jade Cargill situation. Some people in WWE think she's injured. Some people think that she's not. What is going on? We don't know. With Jey Uso, we do know. They're building towards Drew McIntyre and Sami Zayn. And the bigger match is going to be Drew McIntyre versus Jey Uso. Now, I can spin this and I can flip this and I can go, okay, this is a great thing for Jey Uso. He is going to get into the ring with one of the top tier WWE stars, not only on Monday Night Raw, but in the entire company of Drew McIntyre. Now, I should preference this. There is a very, very good chance that Drew McIntyre goes over Jey Uso in this feud. However, there is one thing that I am holding on to that I think where they're going, the positive that I see in this. I 100% see Drew McIntyre beating Sami Zayn. There ain't a shadow of a doubt in my mind because he is the building block towards Jey Uso because WWE fans know this, WWE Creative knows this, more importantly Triple H knows this. The bigger match, if you write it down on paper, is it Sami Zayn versus Drew McIntyre or is it Jey Uso versus Drew McIntyre? Of course it's the latter. It's Jey Uso versus Drew McIntyre. So you're going to have Drew McIntyre go over Sami before you get to Drew and Jey because Sami can take the fall, right? That's his spot in this feud. Now, you have a coin flip. You could have Drew beat Jey because Drew just put over Punk in their epic feud at Bad Blood in Hell in a Cell in October. Okay? You could do that and say, you know what? Jey got a big win at Survivor Series. Jey's been booked pretty decently as of late. He can afford the loss, right? Which I can see, I can understand. Now there's a flip side of that coin, which is the argument of Drew. He is a bigger star coming out of the Punk feud. He just beat Sami Zayn. Jey needs the win because if you're going 50-50, then that would be the right way to do it, right? So I can see them going either way, right? I really, really can. And if I have the pen, if I have the book, if I'm making the calls, what do I do? Right? What do I do? We're fantasy booking here. We're dream matching here. What do we do? If I'm in Triple H's shoes, I'm going to have Jey Uso go over. And I'll tell you why. Drew McIntyre is in such an elite class. And as a heel, he can afford to take the loss to Jey. Especially if he's going to come off of a win over Sami. Because, A, he will be getting a win over a notable guy in Sami Zayn. B, the baby face will be coming out on top, which historically, and in my opinion, that's how storylines should end most of the time. And C, since Drew is a heel, he can talk his way out of a loss. It's a lot more easier to get heat on a heel coming off of a loss in a feud than it is for a babyface to sustain momentum and faith among the fan base and get them to rally behind him regardless of the outcome, right? Especially a loss. Therefore, that's why I see Jey Uso going over Drew McIntyre in this feud. Now, another question is, when do you do this match? When do you do it? I don't think it's Saturday night's main event. I think that card is too full. Also, you got to build towards Drew and Sami first. Could they do Drew and Sami at Saturday night's main event? Maybe. I don't think so, though. But could you do Jey versus Drew at Mania? That's intriguing. That's intriguing, right? You could do Sami versus Drew at Royal Rumble. Maybe you do Jey versus Drew at Elimination Chamber, although I'm not a huge fan of that. Maybe you do it on Raw Netflix debut. There's a lot of events going on right now in WWE. Because you have Saturday Night's main event December 14th. You have January 6th Raw Netflix debut. You have January 25th Saturday Night's main event. You have Royal Rumble, I believe, February 1st. March 1st is Elimination Chamber. The Mania is in early April. So, a lot of options on the table for WWE to choose. I'm interested. I'm intrigued. Bring it on.